Today I want to talk about my Raspberry Pi 3. I want to talk about my setup that I have with RetroPie, and I want to talk about my setup that I have with the Raspberry Pi operating system. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm using one called, I believe it's called the Raspbian, Raspbian. So let's go over that first, because if you're interested in getting online for cheap, the Raspberry Pi 3 is a really good choice. If you just want to do basic stuff, like maybe watch some YouTube videos, get on Facebook, email, stuff like that, the Raspberry Pi 3 is an excellent choice. Because you could go out to the store and buy a cheap laptop. Maybe, $200-300 for a cheap laptop. And it's shit. It's actually shit. Or you could spend $35 on a Raspberry Pi and it works awesome. So let me start up the operating system here. I'm going to hit my power button. Watch how quick this loads up. Boom. We're on the desktop. That quick. Pretty speedy little device. So let's I don't want to spend too much time here, but let's just check out. You can see some of the stuff. This is a clean installed Raspbian image here, and you can see what it comes with. It's got some programming stuff. It's got some Office stuff. You got internet. You got your Chromium web browser, email. Shit, it's got VNC viewer on there. It's got a couple games, accessories. It comes with the basic stuff that you would want with an operating system. But let's check out how it works with like YouTube videos. All right, let's go to YouTube here. Let me grab my keyboard. All right, we're at YouTube. Let's find a video. Francis. Everybody loves Francis. If you haven't watched Francis, you should watch Francis. This guy's funny. So we're in HD here, and you can see that the video loads up fine. It plays fine. There's no skipping. Alright, so you can see that the video runs good. Again, if you haven't watched this guy, you should watch this guy. He's pretty funny. Alright, let's get out of full screen mode. This was in HD, right? Yep, 720. Can we go higher? Let's try 1080 real quick, just see how well it plays in 1080. So it's not skipping or anything. Seems to run fine 1080p. I am using a shitty capture card right now just to capture the footage, and the resolution's pretty crappy. As you can see, the freaking how tiny the browser takes up the whole screen here. Anyways, alright, Francis, I gotta stop you, buddy. Sorry. Anyway, this little device impresses me. I mean, just look how well that runs. like I said, you want to do YouTube, Facebook, email, real cheap. This is the device to get. The Raspberry Pi 3, $35. I'd say the maximum SD card size you would need, or not the maximum, but the minimum size you could get. It's probably get away with 8 gigs, because the Raspberry Pi image is just slightly over 4, so you can just throw the image on there, browse the internet, do what you got to do on the cheap. Impressive, super impressive. Alright, so let's shut this down. And next I want to show you guys my RetroPie setup. So let me swap out SD cards here. I have 2 SD cards. I have one for the operating system and one for my RetroPie. So let's say you guys want to, let me start this up. Oh, let me turn this on. Okay, let's say you guys want to have a cheap gaming system that plays a shit ton of games. Again, Raspberry Pi 3, $35. This one you probably want to get a slightly larger SD card. I have a 64 gigabyte card, and so that's about, I think it's about 20 bucks I paid for mine at Walmart, and maybe 25. So you got the Raspberry Pi for 35. Oh shit, I didn't plug in the goddamn people calling me. I didn't plug in the controller. Let me unplug the keyboard here. Plug in my controller. Alright, let's start this thing up again. And you can see RetroPie doesn't take very long to load either. Loads up pretty quick. I think the operating system loads up quicker, but this loads up pretty quick. So yeah, you want a cheap gaming system that plays retro games. This is it. You got 35 bucks for the Pi, another 25 bucks for the SD card. So you're looking at between 50, 60 bucks. So anyways, like I said, I'm using a shitty capture card, so things are going to look really great. But trust me, it looks way better when I have it plugged into my TV or a monitor or whatever you want to plug it into. Anyways, I chose to stick with the default skin that RetroPie uses, and I made a couple changes to make it a little cleaner looking. So let me go over all the systems that I currently have on here. I have 2600. I got the 7800, the Game Boy Advanced, Arcade, which is MAME, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, Neo Geo, original Nintendo Entertainment System, TurboGrafx 16, got some ports on there, PlayStation, Sega CD, and finally Super Nintendo. So I'm not going to go over everything, but for the Atari I only chose to put the Atari does not take up much space. You could put every single game on there if you wanted to, and it maybe take up a megabyte. But why scroll through a huge list of games that you're never going to play? So I put on about 20 games, and they're mostly games that I remember fondly. Some of the games like Air Raid, for example, I've never owned a copy of it. I never will, because if you want a physical copy of that, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. Well, pretty much all the other ones are games that I played regularly back in the day, except for Halloween. Oops, I I didn't own that one. Still don't. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't own that one, so I wanted to give that a shot and play that. My favorite game, which is Kaboom, I did not put on here because that is a paddle game, and pretty sure RetroPie doesn't support the Atari 2600 paddle. I don't think they make a USB version of it. If they do, somebody let me know, because I'd like to get that. My favorite game on this list currently is, probably surprise some people, Chuck Norris Super Kicks. I played the shit out of this game when I was younger. I was never able to beat it, but I did come close. I didn't know it at the time, but I did come close. Last year I beat it, and I don't even know if you can call it beating the game, because I was a little discouraged when I did complete the game, and come to find out there is no the end, no thanks for playing, nothing. There's nothing to tell you that you beat the game. So you beat the final guys there, and that's it. Nothing happens. Nothing happens until the clock runs out. You run out of time, and that's it. Game over. But I did beat it, and it was something I've been trying to do for years, and finally last year I sat down and said, I'm gonna fucking beat this goddamn game, and I did. Alright, enough of that. Let's see. Let's over here on the where it says arcade. I actually changed that image. It was a MAME image, and I just like the way the arcade image looked better, so I'm not using the emulator that uses that image. I'm using a different MAME emulator that used the MAME image, but like I said, I like this one better, so I changed it to that. Another change I did, when you install this stuff, you're going to get the Sega Mega Drive image for default, and that's European. They called it the Mega Drive. I'm from the US, so I definitely prefer the Sega Genesis logo, so I changed that. Let's see, Nintendo 64 games. My Raspberry Pi is overclocked, the highest you can go, 1500 megahertz. I also have the freaking memory overclocked, everything that you can overclock, I got overclocked to the max. And I guess I'm one of the few people that have a Raspberry Pi that can actually do that. And it does make a difference on some of the N64 games. Like, some of them play really well, but for the most part, a lot of the N64 games do not run very well. And, like, 007, World Is Not Enough, that doesn't run very good. What's the other one? I think GoldenEye. Yeah, GoldenEye. It doesn't, even overclocked, it still doesn't run very great. But I mean, Super Mario's, that runs perfect. Some other games run very well. But yeah, even super overclocked, whoever is working on this emulator, they obviously need to do some more tweaking to it to get it to play a little better. Shit, on my original Xbox, can play some of these games better than the RetroPie does, and the Raspberry Pi here is way more powerful than the original Xbox. I'm pretty sure. I mean, anyways, what else? Ports. We have. I just threw Doom on there just to try it out. We got Kodi. Kodi is an awesome port to get. It plays all your any movie you want, any TV show. Oh, I also edited the loading screen, so it actually matches my theme. Because if you don't do that, then you get some kind of generic looking thing. I don't know. Anyways, I like that look better. So in Kodi here, I'm not gonna go over it too much, because I tried uploading a video a while ago about Kodi, and if you play a movie or something, they even for a couple seconds, they freaking copyright your ass. Anyways, main thing you want to get for Kodi if you want to watch movies and TV shows, you want to get Exodus. And let's just go here. We'll go to movies, and we'll go to most popular. And it's got all these movies. It has all these movies, and you can stream them immediately. So let's see here. So let's say, for example, you want to watch Deadpool. You click on it. It's going to look for all the providers, all the places that actually have the movie that you can stream it from. And if it's taking too long, once you get this far into it, you got enough providers, so you can just it loaded. Don't click cancel, but you can close it out, and then it'll load to this screen here, where you can scroll down the list and pick any one of these providers. Some of these providers will pop up with like a thing that says, "Oh, visit our website," and then you can watch this movie. Just click cancel on that, and it'll go to the next provider until it finds one that doesn't want you to go to their fucking website. But I'm not going to load the movie here because I will get copyrighted. Oops. So let's exit out of Kodi. So that is, I did want to go over one other thing. If you look at, like, for example, Master System here, you see the images that I have for the games. I used a program, some kind of scraper program that would grab all of these images for the games. I forget what that program is off the top of my head here. Let me go on my computer real quick. Oh, it's just called Universal Image Scraper. Anyway, it's a pretty cool program, and it will automatically download all these images for your games. And I tried to do that for this one here, and for whatever reason, it just was not grabbing the nice images like you saw with the Master System there. It was grabbing some images for the games, not all, and they weren't very good images. So then I tried scraping from within RetroPie itself, and let's see here. Yeah, you can see it says scraper there, and you can scrape the images. I don't want to do that because if you scrape from within RetroPie, it gives you more shitty images. Nothing that you really want to look at. So finally, I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna download all the marquee images for all these games. So I got about 50 games, and that's what I did. I downloaded all the marquee images. I resized them to the proper size, and put them on here. And I think it looks cool. So I'm pretty happy with how that came out. And like I said, I also there's something you can install. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's in like optional programs that you can install on your RetroPie setup, and it allows you to change the image that loads up when you click on a game. So for example, prior to this, you could either have just some generic looking thing when you clicked on a game, it would say like press a button to go into some setting or something, and it was in a little white box. Or you could have it so that when you clicked on a game, it would load the actual game image. So, for example, Dig Dug, it would load this Dig Dug marquee, but it would take up the whole size of your screen. So if you were looking at these games on a big ass widescreen TV, it's going to stretch this image out and it looks like crap. So I changed that. Like I said, I forget the name of the thing, but it's in optional programs. We'll see here in a second. This game here, before I had my Pi overclocked, when it was just running at the original speed, this game did not run that well. And now that I have it overclocked here to the max, this game definitely a noticeable change. So you saw the screen there that loaded up when I clicked the game. Is basically it matched my theme that I'm using on RetroPie, and it just said now loading. Nice clean look, so I like that a lot better. Alright, so let's load up a couple credits here. Click start. I love these shooter games, man. They're fun as heck. And you end up getting, a lot of stuff on the screen. So this game might lag. This particular game might lag on a Pi that isn't really overclocked. I don't know if you need to overclock as high as I did, but after I overclocked, I definitely noticed a huge difference. I was like, wow, this game loads much better. These shooter games are addictive. I'll tell you what, I ended up beating this game not too long ago, and if I was paying real money, I probably would have spent like $20 in quarters, because I had to keep putting in more and more credits. As you can see, I keep dying here. But it was fun. I couldn't stop playing it. I just kept popping in more credits after credits. Alright, I gotta stop because I'm getting all addicted to it again. Alright, so that's showing you game loading up, and you can see it plays really well. And anyways, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Oh, I just loaded it up again. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on the Raspberry Pi and how impressive this little device is. How well it runs games, how well it gets on the internet, all sorts of things, man. If you're looking for something just to play around with, this is it, man. This is the device. My end goal here with this device is to make a miniature arcade cabinet. Let me go back into here. I want to make a miniature arcade cabinet with all the Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 artwork and stuff like that. So eventually I'm going to do that. It's just going to be like a tabletop size, maybe put 19-inch monitor in it or something. Nothing too big, but it's going to be decent size, but nowhere near a full size. Something that you can pick up and carry around. So that's my end goal with my Raspberry Pi here. But so yeah, that's it. That's it for my video. If you watched my video, thank you. I don't know if too many people actually watch my videos, but I put them out there anyways. So if you made this far, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.